So let's quickly discuss the construction of GDI, that is Gender Development Index. So we have already discussed about what is GDI, what are the components to form the measure of GDI. So here we are going to actually see how we can calculate and construct our Gender Development Index. Yes. To start with here, so we have taken a data, right? Okay, so first of all, in order to construct this GDI and for the indicators, we need one dimension index. So as we have discussed that there are dimensions to calculate all the indicators. So the formula for dimension index, that you should know, because we will be using this in order to calculate all the indexes starting from life expectancy at birth, then there is our literacy rate index, gross enrollment the ratio, and then finally income. So the dimension index is equals to our actual value minus okay, so I will just write it on here, right, on the left side. Yes, so dimension index is equals to actual minus minimum value whole divided by maximum value minus minimum value. So this is the formula of dimension index. Okay, now we will get to the part of calculating it. Number one, this is the first one that we will be calculating. Okay, so life expectancy, for here we have female and male. So first we have to measure the life expectancy index. So this is the first dimension index. As you can see, actual minus minimum value by maximum value minus minimum value. So 66.9 is the actual life expectancy at birth for Indian women that is taken here, okay? Minus whatever for this country the minimum value is, that is 27.5, divided by the expected maximum value is 87.5, minus again the minimum. So after calculating, we have got our life expectancy index for females, that is 0.657. Similarly, for the male, life expectancy index is what? See, 63.9 years is the actual value. Minimum expected is 22.5. Maximum expected is 82.5 minus again 22.5. This yields the value 0.690. Right? So now what we have to find out? We have to actually find out the equal distribution index, right? Combining these two. So for that, the formula is, you should know, that is, so here we have written the population share, okay, of female. How we have calculated the population share? So you know that here this is the population. So, and for women, in the data it is given for the male members, it is out of this, these many are males. So obviously if we subtract the remaining, that is 49.7 will be what? Females. So what is the proportion of female? This many out of the population. So here is our population share, that is 49.7 divided by 102.9, obviously in crores. So this is 0.483. So this is the female share in population, okay? And as calculated above, this is our life expectancy index. Now similarly for the male, the population share is 53.2 divided by 102.9, so that is 0.517, and the life expectancy index as calculated is 0.90. Now equal distribution index, so for here we are calculating equal distribution life expectancy index, okay? So that is 0.483 divided by 0.657 plus 0.517 divided by 0.690 whole to the power minus 1, right? So basically, if I am calculating for life expectancy index, so that is why I have taken this. If I will be calculating for education and income, so on, I will be taking the value. So what is the general formula then? So here we write down the population share of female divided by the dimension index, okay, plus again population share of male divided by the dimension index of the particular male. So here the dimension index is life expectancy, so that is why we have taken for life expectancy for female and male. So for whichever dimension index, whether it is for life expectancy index or education index or income index, what we are going to do, we are going to divide the male population share to that particular dimension index and add it with that of female share divided by the female index whole to the power -1, so reciprocal of that. So that is the general formula of our equal distribution index. So here we have our answer. So this will be 0.6 approximately. Now moving on to the second one. Yes, so moving on to the second dimension index using the same formula. That is, this is the second one, right? So here we have female data and male data. What are the data we have? We have adult literacy rate for female and adult literacy index. Similarly, gross enrollment ratio for female and gross enrollment index. Now the question is how these indexes has been calculated, because these are our dimension index. So to see that, let's check here. Okay. Right. So here it is shown that calculation of dimension in the education index for women and women. So the dimension is education and we are calculating education index, right? So this is the formula, okay? To calculate the education index, 2/3 of weightage is given to adult literacy index and 1/3 is given to the gross enrollment index. So using this, we can actually calculate the value. So female education index is how much? 2/3 divided by 0.537. Okay, 0.537 here it is given. How we have calculated this index is through the dimension index value, that is minimum value minus maximum value, that formula that we have studied above, right? So here we will just put this value, that is, this is the index. So 2/3 of weightage is given to the adult literacy index, that is 0.537. So we have 0/3 into 0.537 plus 1/3 to the gross enrollment ratio, and the gross enrollment ratio here is 0.580, right? So this is 1/3 into 0.580, okay? Yes. So the answer is 0.551. This is female. Now, so again for male, 2/3 of adult literacy rate for male is 0.753 plus 1/3 of the gross enrollment ratio of male is 0.660. And so the answer is this. Now, this is for female, this is for male. So we have to now calculate the equal distribution index for education. So for that, here we have the calculation. So now these are my data. Now population share I've calculated in the very beginning, that is for female it is 0.483 and for male it is 0.517. From above we have the education index for female, that is 0.551 and 0.722. And here is our equally distributed education index. So that is 0.483. As I told you, the population share divided by how much is your education index, the dimension index I have talked about, that is 0.551. Here we are using for the education. Plus again the male share of population divided by the education index for the male, that is 722. Whole to the power -1 because reciprocal of it. So the answer is 0.628. So we have calculated the equal variation ratio for the life expectancy, and here we have again calculated the equally distributed education index. So now we have two equally distributed index for the two parameters, two indicators. That is, one is life expectancy, that is for the longevity. Another one is education, that is the literacy, and the last one we are going to follow is for the income, right? So for that, here is the formula. So for income index, the formula used for the dimension index is log. We take log value. Okay, so earlier we know that normally the dimension index is what? Actual value minus minimum value divided by maximum value minus minimum value. So in order to calculate this in income index, we take the log value. So log of actual value minus log of minimum value divided by log of maximum value minus log of minimum value. So now after calculating it, we have the following data. For females, the estimated income is this much, and using this, your income index for female is 0.049 using this formula. Again, estimated income earned for male is this. So using the same formula, the income index is 0.643. Now, what is the next step? For this third indicator, we have to calculate our equal distribution index, right, for income. So for that again, I have my population share of female, that is 0.483, and population share of male, that is again 0.517. Now for female, the income index is 0.0449 and that of male is 0.643. So just now we have calculated here for the second indicator. So similarly, we will use the data. First one is the population share, how much it is for female, 0.483 divided by the dimension index. In this case, it is for education. How much it is? It is 0.449. Done. Plus for the male share, population share 0.517 divided by 0.643, and this is the reciprocal of it, right? 1 by. So the answer is 0.532. Here we have calculated it. So now we have three equally distributed indexes of the indicators, one for longevity, another one for education, and last one for income. Now using these three equally distributed index, I can combine it, that is take the average and finally calculate GDI. So what is the formula for GDI? GDI is equals to average of these three equally distributed indexes. So that is 1 by 3 into the first one was 0.674. So if we go up, we can find it. Yeah, here first one was this 0.674. Second one we have calculated is here 0.628. So we will write down here plus 1 by 3 into 0.628, and the last one we have calculated just now is 0.532. So 1 by 3 into 0.532. So the answer is 0.611. Now this is the measure of GDI. Now in the initial in the previous video, while I was explaining what is GDI, I have told you if the number is greater than 0.5 for a country, then we can say that in that particular country the gender inequality is fairly minimum. So higher is the number, higher is the lower is the gender disparity. So here it is greater than 0.5, so we can say that comparatively the gender disparity is less. So this is the conclusion from it, and this is how we can calculate GDI. I hope this video is helpful for you.